Hey everyone, Charlie here, and welcome to another Learn to Play Piano with Charlie, where today we're going to take a question from a subscriber. Let's take a look here. It says, this is from Ananth D. He said, I find it easy to play fast but sloppy, and play slow but with articulation. But playing fast and with good consistent articulation is a nightmare. I'd be curious to see if you have any suggestions on how to improve that, other than to practice your scales religiously. LOL. That's a great question, Ananth. That's kind of a problem that a lot of pianists face, and probably a lot of other instrumentalists too. I'd be surprised if violinists and cellists and all them also didn't face similar things. Playing slow, but consistently is much, at least on the surface level, easier than playing fast, where you can kind of, you don't have as much time with each note, and you can kind of just messily kind of skim over things, and it still might sound okay to someone who's maybe not so familiar with the piano or music or classical music, that is, or the piece that you're playing. But obviously it's best if you can be clear. That wasn't that great, but if you can be clear and articulate and fast when you need to be. And so this comes back, my solution for this is one that I'm sure you and probably most people don't want to hear, but it seems to work, and that's slow practice. And slow practice, there's other videos in the Learn to Play series, so check some of those out, where I go into more detail on slow practicing. But slow practicing is often the solution for cleaning up messiness. And what do I mean by slow practicing? Slow practicing doesn't necessarily just mean play something physically slow, but it oftentimes does. So slow practicing, maybe a better name for it would be something like intentional differentiated practicing or something like that. So what I oftentimes suggest is one or more of the following, and they can be used sometimes in combination too. But one is physically playing slow. Another one is using odd rhythms, like long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, or the opposite, short, long, which is often harder. Short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long. No, sorry, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short. I can't do it and talk at the same time. Also, there's other ways you can do it. Staccato, and this works with any piece. You can do whatever. Playing very hard on each key, like literally drilling in the notes. Like purposefully pushing really hard on each note to kind of drill it in. And you can use a combination of stuff. You could do or do it slowly. So basically anything to get your mind kind of thinking differently about what you're doing, right? So oftentimes it's easy to just play and not really practice. And what does that mean? So like a lot of times teachers will say, when you're practicing the piano or an instrument, don't just play through your pieces, because oftentimes your mind goes on autopilot, and basically you go through the motions, but you're not necessarily improving, and you actually might be drilling in bad habits or wrong notes or a combination of things, So slow practicing is very intentional practicing to kind of get your brain working in different ways. You probably come up with other methods. Let me know in the comments if any of you have other methods other than like long, short, short, long, playing hard, staccato, slow, other ways that can help you kind of just approach what you're playing in a completely different way. Starting slow also and slowly getting faster and faster as you're comfortable can also help. But there's no real easy, quick fix, but slow practicing does tend to help, I think. Remember, of course, don't do anything that makes any of your hands, arms, wrists, fingers, anything like that tight or hurt or anything like that. If it does get tight or hurt, if anything ever does get tight or hurt, stop. Basically, you need to figure out what to do to not make it that way, because you don't want to cause permanent problems. And if you're too tight and stuff, or if you're hurting a lot and you just power through it, that's a bad idea, because it can cause permanent problems. But anyways, hope this was a little bit helpful. Check out the other videos on slow practicing and stuff. That might be helpful as well. And I'll catch you guys in another video. Take care.